Howdy. Not long ago, or not long after I opened my business, I should say, I came face to face with a challenge, and one that I thought, oh, this is going to end my business and kill it dead right before I could begin. It was so big and so monstrous that I thought, I can't fight this. I can't fight this alone, and I can't win this battle even if I have some help. And it was your classic David versus Goliath or people versus zombie, you name it, monster kind of thing. And the thing is, it panicked me out. It caused me all kinds of stress and anxiety, and it was constantly freaked the F out. And if you're a small home or solopreneur, you know what I'm talking about. You've come face to face with this same monster, the same challenge. So what is it? What is the monster? What is its name? And how can I overcome it? Glad you asked. Today we're talking about online service businesses as small home and solopreneur business killers. Let's find out what they are, what they do, and how we can overcome them. All right, I'll see you after the break. Howdy, welcome back. I'm E.H. Howard, and today we're talking about online services as small home and solopreneur business killers. And before we start, I want to clarify exactly what we're talking about. There are different types of online businesses and different types of online things going on. We are talking specifically about online services that offer a similar service to your main line of business, all right? So for example, they may offer tax services, or they may offer design services or website services, something that competes directly with your business that you feel might take clients and consumers from you, all right? And I also want to state, right from the start, I get it. I get the allure of these businesses. So I get it. What these businesses offer consumers are three things, right? And these are my opinions. There are plenty of others. I'm sure that somebody will leave a comment or I'll come at me on Twitter. And please free. I'd love to have a discussion about this. So make sure you leave comments so we can have a dialogue. But I find that the three things that sort of these online services offer that we feel we can't fight on or shouldn't fight on are low prices, convenience, and a sense of control over this process for the consumer. All right, now let's talk about these a little bit individually. Let's first start with the challenge of low prices. Now, this is something I always come back to, and this is something you'll hear me say a million times. First of all, I get it. I get people want to save money. I try to save money wherever I can. I try to cut corners wherever I can. As a small business, you have to do that. There's no other way. You don't have deep pockets, all right? Everything either on a credit card or line of credit or something like that. So we need to cut corners when we can. But as a small home or solo business, you can't, nor should you, fight on price, all right? It's something I say all the time. I used to say it to my students all the time. I say it to every other small business. Now, why? Because it's a losing situation. If you say to your client, sure, I can do that for $10. After your rate is $25, what's going to happen is you've given ground. All right. Now, in the consumer's mind, they can either continue to push further, or the next time they can push you even lower. And so you went to 10 this time. Maybe next time you'll go to 5. Maybe next time you'll go to 2. So you can see where it's a snowball, or as my brother-in-law used to say, slippery slope. At some point, you need to walk away, because when you start doing it for $5, you're losing money, right? There's no way you're going to be able to put food in your mouth, pay your rent, pay your bills at that. So you got to just walk away. And that's okay. You can do that. You can say no to business. So now the other side to that is, if you say 5 and you say 5 is my fast and hard line, I'm not going to go below 5. There's always someone out there that will do it cheaper. There is always someone that will do what someone needs at the price that they need it, even if it's for free or at a loss, all right? So you're now negotiating with consumers, you're fighting with other businesses, and it's all leading to one place. You're not making any money. Now, online businesses can give the appearance that they are being so low you can't compete. I mean, who can do design for $5? For them, though, it's a numbers game. They have the deep pockets, and they have the side of quantity over quality. They can market to thousands of people in hopes of getting a handful of people. All right. That is their goal. That is the whole idea of their business. Now, with that comes, we are busy people. I get it. Being a small business, a home business, or a solopreneur, everything is on your shoulders. You answer the phones, you process the orders, you do the billing, you do the collections, you answer questions, you check the mail, you name it, we do it, all right? And if there was a solution out there that I could feel that was easier to do, that gave me the same results that I could get at doing it by myself, I would certainly take it, all right? But again, if you pay $5 or something, you're gonna get $5 worth of product back. And it's about quantity, not quality. And I have yet to meet the small business owner who doesn't like to be involved in their business. They like to understand everything because we've had to do it all on our own. And whether we like it or not, then there's things that we complain and bitch about, but we kind of like doing them. If we could hire somebody that we could kind of oversee and let them do their thing and then just kind of keep them on track, perfect. Totally get it. Totally understand it. All right. Now, there's an idea that flows through all of these three things, and that is low impact, affordable solutions. They sell the idea that their experience is bing, bang, boom, and you got it done. All right. It's not. That's not the case. That's not what happens. I have yet to meet someone who has used any of these services and then came back to me and said, you know what? That was even better than I expected. The quality was through the roof. I got what I needed and it was so cheap. I can't believe other people aren't taking advantage of this. I have never heard that. Feel free to leave me a comment. Feel free to come at me on Twitter if you've been the opposite, because I would love to hear a positive story. I would love to hear that people had a great experience with some of these businesses. But in my opinion and in my experience, that has not been the case yet. So I always find it to be quite the opposite, that it is cheap, low quality goods and services that don't do anything to help and move you forward. They don't separate you out from the crowd. And as a matter of fact, they leave you 5 steps behind instead of 10 steps forward. There is always a way to get the results you need and a way that's affordable and at the level of quality that you expect and deserve. And we'll talk about it after the break. Hey there, welcome back, EH here. All right, so we're talking about the challenges that we face from the Goliath that we are going to call online services. And whether your business is B2B like mine was, or it's B2C like most businesses, the solution to these problems is the same. Know, love, and appreciate your current consumer base. When I faced my Goliath, I soon came to realize that these online services weren't a threat. They said nothing to me about my life, and they were just something that wasn't going to be a problem. I just needed to ignore them, and I learned that I needed to focus on my current clients, show them the love and affection. And I wasn't going to lose them, because if I did, then they really weren't right for me to start with. They really weren't consumers who were ideal and right for my business. My super fans were not going to jump. I was confident of that. And if they did, then they weren't the super fan I thought they were in the beginning. Now, some of my casual consumers might jump. Sure, they might dip a toe in the option into the pool and see what happens and come back. I'm all for, testing the waters. If you left something, set it free, right? But I knew that some of the casual consumers would jump. The 50% that really won't convert to a super fan ever, they're always going to be casual consumers. And I was okay with that. That's okay. Because again, they weren't the ideal consumer for my business. My business was not right for them. All right. Now let's talk about the convenience issue. And look, I get it. We're all busy. We all have 1,000,001 things on our plate, and we all want it when we want it. Thank you, Amazon. Now, what I'm saying is going to probably be really controversial, and I mean no offense to any current, former, or future clients whatsoever. But if you're in business, if you're a small business, a home business, or solopreneur, you know what I'm talking about because you do this. You do this. And our super fans and casual consumers, well, they don't know how good they got it, right? Like, they just don't get it. They don't know. And we've worked with them for so long, and we've given them such a level of attention and love that they can literally call us up, and within 2 sentences, we know exactly what they want. We know exactly how they want it. We know everything to do to get it to them and make them so freaking happy that they just don't get it. All right. Now, with me, what would happen is, and I always joke about it, it was sort of magical when it would, because, and that's the beauty of the superfans, is a superfan could call me up out of the blue and be like, hey, EH, I need a business card. Can you get me a business card? When do you need it by? I need it by Friday. You got it. All right. Bibbidi bobbidi boom. Thursday, there were the business cards. All right. Maybe even Wednesday. Depends on how fast the printer was. And I have no doubt that you treat your super fans the same way, because that's what small business is all about. That is what we do. We are about building and maintaining and deepening relationships. We are not about a numbers game. We don't care how many people, we care about the quality of people that we work with. And now, this is going to be tied to some of the other ideas, but it really is important. Money is always an issue for us, all right? And I get it. There are, especially when you're starting out, there are days when it is robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're maxing out your credit cards, you're doing all kinds of stuff to make sure that the business is running. I bet there's a group of you out there, a good chunk of you, who have never taken a paycheck, from your business. Now, let me go back and to use the business card analogy here, all right? And one of the things that our consumers, our super fans, get and understand is that they will pay more if they know what they're getting, all right? So when a consumer would call me up, or a super fan would call me up and ask for a business card, they didn't just get a business card from me, okay? I didn't say, okay, pick from column A, pick from column B, a little bit of column C, and boom, you'll have your credit card, or business card. I didn't give them a series of hardcore options, all right? What I did was I gave them 1,000,001 options, so to speak. I involved them in the process. I showed them the background, the research, the development. I gave them drafts. I gave them everything that they could need to understand what went into making the sausage, okay? Because the business card that they got was the result of all of the time and the energy and money, and what they've paid for, that is the result of it, all right? Now, okay. Also part of that, making the sausage part of it, is troubleshooting things. So if I had to use a printer, I could work with the printer and understand how to troubleshoot the problems. Website designer, so it wasn't just beyond, it was my expertise, it was my experience, it was what I gave them as part of the overall package, and how involved I got them in it, all right? So they understood that they weren't just paying for a business card, they were paying for, the funnel. This is the business card, and this is everything else. And they understood that I went above and beyond and gave them the quality they deserved. Even if it was a little bit more than $5, they knew what they were getting. They were clear and understood exactly what that every dollar of every penny went to, all right? And that brought me to my hard and fast rule that I set up flat pricing. And for me, I could do it. In my industry, it was something I could do. I set up flat pricing, and I said, I will never fight on price. Never fight on price. It is always a losing endeavor, and there will always be somebody that does it cheaper. And I wasn't going to waste my time and energy fighting for a few scraps of meat. If you didn't want to pay what I was asking, with all of this coming into it, you were not my ideal client, you were not my super fan, and I should spend my time focusing on some super fans to get me some more. All right. I knew if they wanted to spend less than $5 for a business card, that it wasn't going to be a love connection. We weren't going to be a partnership, and it was not going to work. All right. And again, by no means was I ever expensive, but it was affordable, and it was backed by a whole bunch of other things that could prove why they should pay it. All right. Now, I also built in things like if they needed to pay early, they could get a discount. You know, pay me, in 15 days and you get a big discount. I worked with them on, bigger projects. We can do a payment plan. Because I knew them and I knew that I could trust them and they'd been with me for so long, I knew that the super fans, I could give them things where I could basically trust them. Okay, I can trust you to make payments because I think you're going to do it. I can do the work and then give it to you, and I know you're going to pay me in 45 days. It was those types of things. And the only winner when you fight on price, and the only winner on price, is the consumer. They're the only ones that are going to be able to put money in their mouths, to pay their bills, to feed things, put the kids through school, all of that stuff. Now, the other thing is, I have yet to meet the small business owner, like I said, that doesn't like to be involved in everything. They're hands-on, not necessarily because we wanted to be, but because we had to be at one point, and that just kind of forced us to do like, okay, well, if I'm going to do the accounting, we had no options. We couldn't hire staff. We couldn't hire people to do those things for us. And like every small business owner has a lot on our plates. We are very busy people. And I'm lucky enough that I don't have kids, so I don't have to juggle things like school and teaching and homework and sports and music lessons. And, and I go crazy. I think I don't have enough hours in the day. I don't know how somebody with kids can own a business because there's so much pressure on you and you're so busy. So I get it. And when we start to feel out of control, like if these businesses are coming in, we think they're taking business from us. When we feel out of control, we want to start controlling everything. And again, by involving my consumers in the process as much as they wanted to be, I didn't force it on anybody. I tested the waters, see what they like to do. Some people, they wanted to be there every moment of every step of every day. Some of them were like, nah, I just called you up, I told you what the name is, put it on a new business card, bam. End of story. But those who wanted to be involved, the real super fans actually, they were involved. I gave them the process. I showed them what was happening and I let them be part of the process. And they felt fun about it. They had fun, because there were a couple of times where I had someone say to me, this is the best part of my day when you call because I get to get away from all that stuff, all the business stuff, and I get to do some creative stuff. I get to think outside of the box a little. And again, that was my super fan. Those were the people that I really wanted to work with. I wanted to be collaborative with people. When I started my business, the thing I said to most people was, I want to work with people, not for people. And when you do that, the consumer can start to feel really involved in the process. Again, they really understand what they're paying for. It just builds and deepens that relationship, and it's a win-win situation. Now, in that situation, that consumer going out and telling their friends and family, you know what? Hey, it was this amount of money for the business card, but I got all of this, and look at this, and I did this, and I did, and now they have a really engaging story. They have a better way of sharing me than just, oh, that's a really cool business card. Thanks. This guy over in Anaheim did it. It's really, hey, thanks. All right. So, and that's not what we want. We want them to be excited about us enough to be talking about us to everybody. Now, this conversation, I feel like, comes up all the time. I feel like we always hear it when there's a new technology that pops up. Home video was supposed to kill the film industry, right? We weren't going to go to movie theaters anymore. Streaming was going to kill, we always hear it. And they certainly can, and they certainly have, but they have for the businesses that are a dog chasing their tail, all right? And by that I mean, they tried to compete with technology or an online service on their field, all right? They went over there and said, I'm going to deal with this. Rather than playing on their field and saying, you know what? Who needs them? They're not about me. They're not about my consumers. They are not about what I'm doing. So if you ignore them, then you are not playing their game. You're not dealing with the stress and the anxiety. You're not going to fight on price, and you can focus on your current consumer base. The people who know you, who love you, who can't get enough of you, and they want to buy more, and they're going to tell people more. And all it takes is you reminding them that you're special. Your super fans aren't going to go anywhere. I mean, and they might, but you're going to have to do something pretty bad to get rid of your super fans. But there are a ton of casual consumers that you could be working with and engaging with and getting them to convert over to being super fans. And if you were going to lose the super fan, it really wasn't a super fan to start with, right? Maybe they were a casual consumer and maybe they were a problem child, so who knows? All right, so the only thing that you need to worry about and fear from online businesses is that you're giving it a little too much attention and you're not giving your current consumer base enough attention. So ignore them and focus on your consumer base. And in other words, I'll say my favorite phrase that I say all the time: you do you, all right? And it's really that simple. It really is. All right. I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you have to say, and especially, in regards to online services. Every industry has them. Every industry is dealing with it. And by that I mean dealing with it. But if you work for one of these online industries or you've had a good experience for them, I would love to hear about it. Because I don't always have both sides of the argument. I haven't heard enough or any, to be honest, stories about good experiences with these online services. And so please leave your comments below. And the Small Business Talk Show is exclusive to YouTube, so make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell below so you can be aware of when new videos come out. And they come out every Wednesday. Follow me on social media. I'm literally E.H. Howard everywhere. To learn more about me, selling the experience, and finding your Betty, visit ehhoward.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I always say we never close. We're open on Sundays, birthdays, holidays, snow days, rain days, earthquake days. While you're there, make sure you join our mailing list. We're going to be doing, the workshops are going to be starting up again. We're going to be doing collaborations and some podcasts and a whole bunch of other new things. We're going to get rocking and rolling finally. 2021 is going to be the year. Also, don't forget to like and join the E.H. Howard Facebook page. We're doing some exclusive content specifically for that, specifically the 2-minute challenge. So you make sure you want to take advantage of that. And other than that, I will see you back next Wednesday for the next video. All right, see you then.